Good morning, everyone. It is a snowy day here, and so the wife and I are enjoying a day in. Um, Schools were canceled, so that means I don't typically go to work. So I thought it'd be a great opportunity to do a video on just a plethora of different things. I wanted to talk about my routine, what it's like being blind in my routine, and some of the hobbies that I have and interests that I have. I think it's really important that routine is established for people because again, that routine, we're creatures of habit. It helps us to decrease anxiety, keep stability in our lives. So I want to carry out what I tell everybody else to do as far as clients go and recommendations, and that establishing a routine is huge. So my routine in the mornings is I'll typically get up and make the coffee, start the coffee. It's obviously a big one. Um, Important to a lot of people to kind of get that kickstart, get focused on the day, and then I will sit down and I will study my Greek. I've been doing Greek now for almost a year. Um, Funny story behind that is that I started to study Greek, and then 6 months into it, I was told by a friend of mine. He asked if I was what I was studying. I told him I was studying Greek, and he asked if it was New Greek or Old Greek, and I was like, I don't know. And I realized that I was studying New Greek. Well, the purpose of me studying Greek was so that I would be able to read the Bible in Greek and hopefully then eventually Hebrew. Well, come to find out that the Bible's in Old Greek. So, yeah, being 6 months into it, I thought I'll just keep going. And so I've continued to study New Greek. I use a app called Duolingo. It works very, very well for blind people. So get a hold of that. If people get a chance to, especially if you're blind, it works really, really well. It's important to be able to access specific parts of our brain that we don't typically use. That helps to stay off dementia. So studies have shown that that's very, very helpful. So I used to study Spanish for 2 years when I was in high school, and after high school, it was right out the door. So started back up with studying a different language. So I guess technically I know three languages because I also know how to write and read Braille. I don't know if we want to consider that a language or not, but food for thought. So as I kind of go along here and talk about different aspects, I want people to be have the opportunity if they want to ask questions about my blindness, about how I do activities, how I go about figuring out how adjustments work for me. I've talked about the importance of being flexible and adaptable in another video, but routine, back to that. So studying Greek is something I do in the mornings. The wife and I, being Christians, so we find it really important and helpful to stay in the Word. So I will study a chapter of the Bible using VoiceOver and a Bible app that's very user friendly for that. And I'll study. I've read through the Bible probably 8 times or so, and in that I've read through different versions of the Bible, and so it's kind of a interesting journey in that because you find something new all the time. But there's a Bible verse of the day that I'll read my chapter. The wife will come out a little later on, and we'll reread the chapter and we'll discuss it, which is a great start to our day because that kind of gives us energy, motivation, focusing on God to begin the day, and will help us kind of carry through our day. In fact, sometimes we'll listen to Christian music on the way to work then. Um, so reading the Bible is an important aspect of my morning. Then I usually see clients from 8 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon, and then wife and I will go to appointments, whatever we got to do after work, and come home and eat, and then typically I'll relax for the evening and go to bed between 8:30 and 9. I have a condition called non-24, which can uh, cause havoc with trying to get adequate sleep or sleeping at the right time, so on and so forth. So the sleep can be a little rough for me at times. I also have a nerve condition, sciatic neuropathy. So with that, hopefully I'll be getting a spinal stimulator here. I'm going to be doing a trial here coming up soon. I got pain in my lower back and in my foot that burns, so sometimes that'll keep me up at night. So sometimes sleep can be pretty difficult for me at times. I push through it the best I can. All I can say is that it sometimes can be difficult to stay focused, stay efficient, stay upbeat, but I feel like for the most part, I'm a pretty happy-go-lucky person. Um, uh, Other hobbies and interests that I have that aren't necessarily part of that routine are fishing. I love to fish, so I'll talk about that at some point and how a blind guy fishes might be interesting for some people to learn about. The other hobbies I have again are music. I love music, so I listen to a lot of different music. I'm pretty eclectic in my music choice. Um, I like also on my days off, I will kind of keep track of the financial markets. I like crypto, kind of into that whole scene, been in that for some years, and use different apps to kind of keep track of what's going on in the market. Also, stock market's interesting to me. I like news overall. I think it's important to keep up on the news. Got to be careful with that because some people with mental health issues that can create more mental health strain. So tolerance is important to understand what your tolerance level is for that. Um, the I like being outside a lot. I'll be outside on our back patio when it's not 3 to 5 inches of snow outside. I enjoy listening to the sounds that are going on around me, and so uh, I'm kind of all over the board in terms of different hobbies and interests. As I said before, if there's any questions, comments, you want to know something more about what I do and how I do it, don't hesitate to ask. I'm here to share what I can, and we'll continue to explore what this life and this world is like of being blind. My wife is fully sighted, so she helps me a great deal with different aspects in which I can't do, but I tend to be a pretty independent person, so I will do whatever I can do to figure out how to make it work for myself. And um, but I do appreciate the help that others help me with, transportation wise. The wife's the primary person that takes me around, but I have other family and friends that help me get around at times too. All right, I'm going to cut this video off and we'll talk more in the next video. Again, routine, structure, important. If you can get that implemented in your day, helps a great deal. And maybe I'll talk about why that is more in depth from a mental health perspective in another video. But until then, God bless.